just got to remember which one. So 27, 30, 32, 40, 46. Take a picture of this. So let's go 27. Hopefully I have some room here, and I'll do it on this sheet right here. All right, so 27. 27 says, oh, come on, pen, please work. Okay. So let's go through the steps. So 27, number 1, distributive property, and there is right here. So 224 equal, that's a negative 8 times positive 2, which is negative 16. And then negative 8 times 6 is negative 48k. 2, combine like terms is 224, there's nothing to combine. Negative 16 and negative 48k can't combine, so let's go to step 3. Check for variables, see if there's a variable on the left and there's a variable on the right. No, there isn't, so I don't have to do any of that. And then finally 4, start saying, hey, let's start solving this. Remember, we want the equation to look like this. Let me cross this out. So somehow, that equation that is written here, it has to look where the k is completely isolated, the 48 is gone, and the 16 will be gone. So let's work on that. If you do that little map guide I tell you to do, it might help you. So here's a letter, here's a number I don't know called k. It's being multiplied by negative 48. Then subtract 16, and that should give me 224. To find out what k represents, I'm going to do plus 16 and then divide by negative 48. So let's do that. So step 1, line in the middle. Let's do plus 16. Plus 16 on that side. The 16s will go away, right, because that becomes 0. 224 plus 16 is going to be 240 equals 48k, sorry, negative 48k. That equal sign should be a little bit lower. So I did that, and now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 48. So divide this by negative 48. Divide this by negative 48. Negative 48 divided by negative 48 gives me k, and that's what I have here. And then 240 divided by 48 is 5? Yeah. No. 240 divided by 48. No, it is 5. So and that's a positive divided by negative. So k is negative 5. So now we got to do our check. How do we do our check? So to do our check, I'm going to copy the original equation, 224 equals negative 8. 2 plus and 6 times k, in which instead of k I'm going to write negative 5 in parentheses. Let me highlight. This is my, oops, this is where I highlight, this is where my substitution happened. So I replaced the k with negative 5. So if I get them to equal each other, I know I'm good. So 224 on this side, let's do negative 8, let's leave that alone, and let's take care inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses I have to do multiplication first. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30, right? So that's going to give me negative 30. And negative 30 times 2, negative 30 times 2 is going to be negative 60. And this doesn't look right. Sorry, negative 30 plus 2 is going to give me negative 28. I apologize. So 6 times 5 is negative 30. Negative 30 plus 2 is negative 28. Now I'm good. So 224. 2 negatives being multiplied, it's going to give me a positive. And what's 8 times 28? Just let's confirm that. 8 times 28 is indeed 224. So my answer of k equals negative 5 was correct. Next number is, no idea, 30, 32. So we're going to do 30 and then 32. So let's do 30. Okay, here's 30. Hopefully that's enough room. Go through the order. Number 1. Do I see any distributive property? Number 1. Look for distributive property. Yes, there is right here. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 6 is 6x. Plus 5x equals 89. Number 2. Combine like terms. Can I? Yes, I can. The 89 I can't. But on the left side of the equal sign, positive 6x and positive 5x can be combined. So it's going to be 12, and if you combine those two, you get 11x. 3. Check if there are variables on both sides. No, there isn't. There's variables only on the left side. So now I can start solving it. So again, we're going to want that equation to look like this. We have to get rid of the 11, and we have to get rid of the 12. So where's my little star here? I have a variable called x is currently being multiplied by 11 and then add 12. That gives me 89. So I'm going to have to subtract 12 to both sides and then divide both sides by 11 to isolate x. Let's see if that works. Minus 12 here, minus 12 here. That becomes 0, so I'm not going to write it. 11x positive, it cannot come down. 89 minus 12 looks like 77. Next thing I need to do is divide both sides by 11. 11 divided by 11 is just 1 or 1x, and then 77 divided by 11 is 7. So apparently my answer is 7. My original equation, 6, 2 plus, now put a 7, because I'm replacing the x with 7, plus 5 times 7 equals 89. So let me highlight again. Here's my substitution. I replace the x with 7. Let's solve it. 6. Well, inside the parentheses, 2 plus 7, which is 9. Plus 5 times 7, they're both positive, so it's 35 equals 89. 6 times 9 is 54. Plus 35. Does it equal 89? Let's see. 4 and 5 is 9, and 5 and 3 is 89. It does. So number 30, x equals 7. That's my solve. And here, 89 equals 89. My solution is okay. 32. 32 doesn't seem that bad either. 1. Distributive property. There is right here. So 7x minus 14 equals 35x. And then 7 times negative 6 is negative 42. 2. Combine like terms. Can I combine 7x and 14? No. Can I combine 35x and 42? No. So let's skip to 3. Are there variables on both sides? Yes. Here's 7x and here's 35x. So let's get rid of the smaller one, the coefficient, the one that has the smaller coefficient, just because I don't want to deal with any negatives. So that's 7x. How do I make that equal to 0? Well, what do I do to 7x to equal 0? I do minus 7x. And if you notice, 7 minus 7 is 0, so this node is up here. I will do minus 7x on the other side. So let's see what we have. So negative 14 is left over on the right, on the left. 7x minus 35x minus 7x is 28x. And then minus 42. So I'm done with that. Now 4, 5, and 6 says, hey, get rid of the, remember we have to make the equation look like that. So let's get rid of the 42, and then let's get rid of 28. That's what 4 and 5 says. So my little guide, I have a variable called x, which is being multiplied by 28. Subtract 42 gives me negative 14. So the two inverse operations will be plus 42 and divide by 28. Let's do that. Plus 42 here, plus 42 here. 42 minus 42, negative 42 plus 42 is 0. 28x comes down. So let me cross that out, so 28x. And then equals negative 14 plus 42 is going to be negative 28. Now, what's the next step after adding 42? I'm going to divide both sides by 28. So divide by 28, divide by 28. 28 divided by 28 is equals to 1x, or just x, and negative 28 divided by 28 equals to negative 1. And that's my solution. Let's copy the original equation. So everywhere I see the x, right here and right here, I'm going to replace it with negative 1. So 7 times negative 1 minus 14 equals 7. 5 times negative 1 minus 6. So left side has to equal right side. On the left side, 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. And then I'm going to subtract 14. And those two will equal to negative 28. Hopefully the right side is going to be the same. Please. 5 times, so we get 7, and then 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Uh-oh. Something is wrong. Hang on. Did I copy this wrong? 5 times 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 times 6. Minus 6 is negative 11. Sorry. Where did I go wrong? Sorry. 42. Oh, that's okay. So that was... Oh. I see where my mistake is. So again, if you... Let me continue the check. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Then minus 6. Right? So if I continue this, is 7. Negative 5 minus 6 is negative 11. And you'll notice that the left side is negative 28 and the right side is negative 77. So obviously, I did something wrong. Well, if that happens to you, hopefully you'll go back to your equation and see, obviously my answer of negative 1 is incorrect. So let me erase everything here. And I'm going to go back, and I just found my mistake. My mistake was right here. Notice here, I wrote negative 14 plus 42 equals negative 28. It is not. Let me write this down. Negative 14 plus 42 is positive 28. I had initially written negative 28. Equals, and this side is 28x, right, because the 42 became 0. So now I divide this side by 28 and divide this side by 28. This simplifies to just x, and 28 divided by 28 is 1. X equals 1, not negative 1. 7 times 1 minus 14 equals 7 times parentheses 5 times 1 minus 6. And hopefully this time I did it correctly. 7 times 1 is 7 minus 14, and 7 minus 14 is negative 7. Let's check the right side. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 6, right? So positive 5 minus 6 is negative 1. So inside the parentheses, I can leave 1. And 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. So now my solve works, and I know my solution, x equals 1 is correct. Ugh. $40. All right, here's 40. Start again, number 1. Distributive property. There it is, right here. So negative 28 plus 7a. Negative times a positive is a negative. 56. And negative 7 times positive a is just going to be negative 7a. 2. Combine like terms. Can I combine 28, negative 28 and 7a? No. Can I combine negative 56 and negative 7a? No. I don't have to do any of that. 3. Check for variables on both sides. There is. On the left side I have 7a. On the right side I have negative 7a. Right, so let's get rid of 1 then. That's positive 7, that's negative 7. Get rid of the smaller one, negative 7. So to get rid of that, remember, I want that to equal to 0, and in order for that to equal to 0, I have to add 7a. And I'm going to add 7a on the other side. Well, I'm going to take that 0 out because we don't need it. But we know now that these two will say bye-bye. Negative 56 comes down. On the left side is negative 28 plus 14a. Now we get to the point where we have to make a equals something, right? We have to get rid of the 14. We have to get rid of the negative 28. That's our 4, 5, and 6. Step 4, step 5, step 6. So let's do that. Well, to help me out, I'm going to do this little guide that I do. I have a variable called a, which is being multiplied by 14, and then subtract 8 gives me negative 56. I'm going to use the inverse operation, so plus 28, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 14. And hopefully that's going to isolate a for us. Plus 28 on both sides. That becomes 0. 14a comes down. And then negative, what the heck, sorry. And then negative That goes away. And then negative 56 plus 28 is going to be negative 28. And the other inverse operation I'm going to do is divide both sides by 14. So 14 divided by 14 is just a, and negative 28 divided by 14 is negative 2. So my answer is negative 2, apparently. Hopefully I'm right this time. So negative 28 plus 7 times negative 2 equals negative 7. 8 plus, and then negative 2 over here in parentheses. Let's make sure I'm correct. Negative 28, it's positive 7, negative 2 is negative 14. On the left side, it looks like I have negative 42. So on the right side, as long as I have that, I'll be okay. Negative 7, inside the parentheses, 8 plus negative 2, which is 6. And then negative 7 times positive 6 is indeed negative 42. So my solution, a equals negative 2, was correct. Last problem. Jeez. Last problem is 46. All right, so 46 doesn't look that bad. 1, distributed property. Yes, there is, right here. So don't worry about anything else for now. Equals negative 8x, and then we're going to start doing the distributed property. That's a negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20x. And negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. 2. Combine like terms. Look at the left side. Can I combine 12x and 54? No. Copy. Right side. Can I combine? Yes. Negative 8x and positive 20x. They're side by side, thankfully. We can combine those two. Negative 8 plus 20 is 12x. And don't forget to write minus 8. Uh-oh. I hope you see something familiar here. So notice that this 12x is the same as this 12x, right? So, but on the left side, I'm adding 54 to it after we multiply to 12, and then on the right side, I'm subtracting 8. So again, imagine two groups of people, the left side of the room and the right side of the room. I'm going to give everybody $10. The first thing you're going to do is multiply that $10 by 12. So the left side, people, is 12 times 10. On the right side, people, is 12 times 10. Right? But on the right side, they get a bonus. They get added 54. But on the left side, they get a penalty. You subtract 8. So even without even multiplying, doing the order of operations here, we know that this group here, and I'm going to highlight, going to end up with more money, right? They, on both sides, I gave them $10 each. Both sides got to multiply that $10 by 12, but one side they got a bonus of 54, and the other side they got a penalty of minus 8. So this whatever is it, and the left side will not ever equal the right side. So this one, there's no solution. Now, if you want to try with other numbers, pretend I give both sides of the room $5. So it'd be 12 times 5 on the left side, and 12 times 5 on the right side. But after you multiply by 12, the left side group, they get a bonus of 54, and the right side doesn't get it. They get what you call a penalty of 8. So we can already see that this is going to be an equation where there is no solution. And then just to confirm, if you wanted to continue this and say, I want to continue and show one more step, I'm going to subtract 12x from this side and subtract 12x from this side. So this will go away. Notice we're going to have 54 on that side and then negative 8 on that side. And as you can tell, they're not equal to each other. So no solution. Okay, that's it.